Let me tell you, I love chocolate and I love ice cream, and I actually developed a bit of a habit of snacking on it. And I kept telling myself that I was just having it occasionally, but then occasionally turned into every day. I had started to develop a bit of a gut, I was lacking motivation, and the quality of my skin had gotten pretty bad. So I decided to quit sugar for 100 days. Sugar. When people think about sugar, they imagine candy, cake, and Coke. We've been told that sugar is this high-energy ingredient that makes everything delicious. But what if sugar isn't a food? What if it's actually a drug? I mean, we all know that having too much sugar is really bad. It's hard to even find one positive reason to consume sugar. You know, other than the fact that it makes cake, ice cream, and chocolate. Starting out this challenge, the first obvious thing that I had to give up was ice cream and chocolate. I'm not gonna lie, this was tough. Another huge obstacle is this culture of giving sweets as gifts. But as I started this challenge, I realized that social awkwardness would be the least of my worries. Because sugar is not just in the obvious candy, cake, and Coke. Nah, sugar is in everything. According to the book Metabolical by Dr. Robert Lustig, 62% of the food found in supermarkets is ultra-processed. Things you don't expect, like tomato sauce, has an absurd amount of sugar. Even stuff that's supposed to be healthy, like granola, is loaded with sugar. And that counts granola bars as well. And yogurts? Yeah, lots of sugar, especially if it's advertised as low fat. What about zero-calorie sodas? Hate to break it to you, but it turns out that diet sodas are only half as bad as actual sodas, which is still really bad. Then what about fruit juices and smoothies? Come on, man, smoothies are healthy, I know for sure. Smoothies gotta be healthy. Nah. Turns out the great thing about fruit is the combination of fibers in addition to the juice. Your gut basically has healthy bacteria that feeds on fiber. But if you got a fruit juice, then there's no fiber, it's just the juice itself. So you basically turn the fruit into a sugary beverage. And the same goes for smoothies. When you actually blend it in a smoothie, it tears the fiber to shreds, making it useless for your gut. No! Nah!
You were the chosen one!
I know, smoothies are supposed to be delicious, but they're basically just a calorie bomb with just tons of sugar. According to Dr. Robert Lustig, sugar is slowly poisoning us and is the cause for about 80% of every chronic, untreatable disease. So by now, avoiding sugar seemed less like a challenge and more like something that I should just obviously stop doing. I mean, why would I keep eating it if it's making me sad, fat, stupid, and sick? If 62% of the stuff sold in supermarkets is toxic, then what should I look out for? So for this challenge, I developed a bit of a rule of thumb. Basically, I can eat anything that I can imagine being made or found in the nature. Which gives me a simple list of fish, meat, eggs, fruit, veggies, berries, nuts, milk, cheese, olive oil, butter, rice, oatmeal, and there's probably more, and you can contribute down in the comments. So with all of these things in mind, for this challenge, most of my meals basically became like fish or beef with rice on the side or potatoes, and some veggies like steamed broccoli or spinach. And I consumed a lot of eggs. And I picked up a very good mantra from the book Metabolical, which is basically protect the liver, feed the gut. If you imagine sugar and alcohol poisoning your liver, you basically avoid those, and then you try to feed your gut by getting fiber-rich foods. And I also eat a lot of oatmeal. Oatmeal is rich in fiber, which again feeds that gut bacteria, which is so important. And then between meals, I would snack on nuts or fruits. You may argue that it seems kind of bland, but let me tell you, as I progressed in this challenge, my cravings changed. I actually started really loving this type of food, and I kind of didn't want sugar anymore. So after 100 days, I can tell you there are many obstacles that I encountered, and I'm gonna mention some of them here. But before I do, if you're still watching this video and you like it, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. The hardest part of this challenge for me were those late night cravings. You know, you come back from work, you just wanna have something, snack on something, play some video games, whatever. I found that that's when my willpower is at its weakest. And it was very hard to stay off the chocolate, especially because I'm living with my wife and I'm not gonna force her to do this challenge. And she has all this Japanese snacks lying around.
Kana, you put too much candy here. Too much candy, why do you put so much candy? I have to resist all this.
So for these moments, I had to find alternatives, which basically turned out to be carbonated water, or soda water, fruit, and tea. Chilled carbonated soda water just tastes amazing to me, especially for somebody who in their early teens drank so much Coca-Cola, for me it just fools my brain into thinking I'm drinking like this delicious treat. For tea, my preferred choice was Pirate Tea. It's basically a supplement tea made with incredible list of cognitive and mood-boosting herbs. It tastes amazing and has this orange peppermint flavor. I'm actually a part of the Pirate Tea team, and I've been helping them make videos since even before they launched. Everyone who has tried it thus far have told me that it's a game changer. I'm just gonna put up a list of the ingredients on the screen right now so you can search them yourself, but basically every single herb is carefully selected for its health benefits. And drinking a cup of tea is much easier than having a bunch of different supplements. I've got a link down below if you want to check it out for yourself. Just use code JOHNBEAR at checkout for 20% off on your final order. Now, in regards to the social challenges, they were not as hard as I imagined. Most of the instances I would find myself at work, somebody brings in a bunch of chocolates to share with everyone or a souvenir, and I would just politely decline without going too much into the details of the challenge I'm doing. I would just say something like, oh no, thank you, I'm full. I learned very quickly that nobody wants to hear about your challenge or your war against sugar. It just makes people feel uncomfortable and it puts yourself on like a high horse above them. My wife even commented that I sounded like an annoying vegan. Dang it! Basically, being annoying to people around you is very undesirable, and so I learned to just keep this to myself and not really talk about it. There was this one instance where I couldn't say no. I was at a friend's house and his mom came and brought a cake that she had made. At that time, like, can you realistically say no? Can you make up some excuse? I just had the cake and it was delicious. And I decided in that moment to just enjoy it. So now at the end of the challenge, I have 5 main lessons that I've learned. Lesson number 1, is sugar delicious or just addictive? I thought about this question a lot because as I progressed in the challenge, my craving for sugar basically vanished. I tried at one point to have a Coke, and to me it just tasted weird. It's like my body was telling me, nah, don't do this. Stop it. I felt myself not craving sugary food whatsoever, and I find myself a lot in these breakfast buffets at hotels because I fly a lot for my work. Always at the breakfast buffet they have like a lineup of pastries and sugary things. I just kind of walked by them, never even thinking that I would eat it. Throughout this challenge, water started tasting so delicious to me. Like water, people say water doesn't have taste. It absolutely does. Water tastes amazing. Is sugar actually delicious, or are we just addicted to it? Hear me out. Here's the definition of food. Food is defined as any substance that is consumed to provide nutritional support for the body. Nutritional support for the body. In this case, sugar just doesn't pass the definition. Overconsumption of sugar just leads to all kinds of health problems. So it's like anti-food. Lesson 2, get very good at reading labels. Before this challenge, my instinct was just to grab whatever food is in front of me, but now this instinct changed into trying to read the labels, being very curious about what's in everything that I'm eating. And you might say that it's annoying, but actually I was curious. It was fun. I enjoyed learning about the foods around me. And I learned a very important thing about reading the labels is just ignore the made of natural ingredients part. Anything can be categorized as natural ingredients. So basically instead I would go to the nutritional content and then look under carbohydrates for added sugars or just carbohydrate content in general. Like if a beverage has a lot of carbohydrates, don't drink that beverage. Sugar is basically refined carbohydrates, so that's how they hide it. And I learned that the biggest offender are beverages. Just anything. It doesn't have to be sodas even. Just read the label. If the beverage contains a lot of calories, just avoid it. And I think it can go a long way by just eliminating beverages altogether and just stick to water, tea, or coffee. And here's the biggest hack with the labels. The best foods are the ones that don't need labels. Just think about it. Imagine eggs. If there was a label for the eggs, it would say, includes eggs. That's it. So the best foods are single ingredient foods. It sounds so stupid when I'm talking about it now. So listen, the real Giga Chad move is to buy food that doesn't need labels. Lesson 3, stock up on alternatives. Just like you, I get cravings all the time, so I just have alternatives ready in my home. If you like sugary sodas, just have carbonated water ready. If you like to snack throughout the day, just have nuts or celery or carrots around. Lesson 4, sugar really messes with your mood. Even though the downsides of sugar are numerous, I would say the biggest gain out of cutting it out is just feeling generally more positive. Less brain fog. Whereas basically if you're eating a lot of sugar, then you're like a drug addict looking for the next hit. Whereas after I cut out sugar, I have more stable energy throughout the day. And as I became more disciplined with my food, I also became more disciplined with the gym. Lesson number 5, I learned to not beat myself up. In the end, there's going to be somebody who offers you a dessert or chocolates, and it's okay to have every now and then. The point is that if you're having it every single day and numerous times throughout the day, that's when it's really bad. But I think just that awareness of avoiding sugar in general has had so many benefits. For special occasions, just don't worry too much. Just have that cake, have that ice cream. If you're disciplined about your food 90% of the times, I think you're doing a pretty good job. Even yesterday, I was playing video games with my wife and we ended up snacking on chocolates. It wasn't like a mountain of chocolates. We had restraint. And then by the end of it, I was happy. That's it for this video. If you've learned something, please let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, then check out this other video that I made. Okay, bye.